Thank you for joining us for the quarterly update on the CAZ Private Equity Ownership Fund. As always, this vehicle is only available via the limited partnership agreement and private placement memorandum. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. As you can see by the fund, it is currently marked at a 1.33 times multiple on invested capital. We continue to see incredible growth within the portfolio and have been extremely pleased with the execution of the team at Dial. Although the vehicle is fully earmarked or committed in terms of the underlying positions, it's now 60% called as of today. We've already received close to 22% in distributions on our investment, which is approximately a 35% yield on the capital that has been called, and just over 2 years since the vehicle final closed. Since inception, approximately half of the yield we've received has come via management fees, about a quarter from the carried interest, and the remaining from the balance sheet returns of the underlying GPs we own the stakes. As the fund continues to season, we expect that the distributions will continue to get more linear over time. However, there will be certain quarters where it's more chunky or lumpy, depending on the activity of the underlying GPs. Distributions to date have yielded approximately 35% on invested capital, including the activity from last quarter. Roughly 90% of the $5.3 billion that Dial has committed in Fund 3 has been committed, and we're 60% called on that, with the remaining expected to be called over the next 2 to 4 years. We're seeing plenty of activity in the underlying managers in terms of new lines of business, development of platforms, and all positions in the portfolio are currently marked above a 1 times multiple on invested capital. The entire Dial 3 ecosystem is continuing to grow. Vista is close to being on path to $50 billion in assets. HIG's nearing $30 billion. Silver Lake now over 40, and NCAP most recently approaching the $37 billion number, and Platinum now over $15 billion. Although it's been stated prior, I would say it's worth mentioning again. Across the 10 managers in the vehicle, their cumulative assets under management is up by more than 50% from their respective transaction date. That's totaling more than $100 billion in committed capital. As you can see by the chart, every portfolio company in Fund 3 is already out of the J curve, which is really impressive given some of these transactions are really still very early. These companies are shown in chronological order, which is partially why the names at the top not only make up the overwhelming majority of the NAV, but have higher multiples if they've had more time to crystallize. In summary, we're continuing to see great progress at the portfolio company level from our managers, and the managers are raising new funds even faster than expected. We continue to be impressed with the team at Dial, not only in the positions they took in Fund 3, but what they've been able to continue doing in Fund 4, which as a reminder is PEO 2. Speaking of Dial in Fund 4, just like in Fund 3, they're aiming to take 10 to 12 stakes in brand name private equity firms. And just to be clear, PEO 1 is invested in Dial 3, PEO 2 is invested in Dial 4. In Fund 4, they've already made 7 investments. So if you haven't already made your commitment to PEO 2, you should as part of the next close. I'll go ahead and mention we increased the size of PEO 2 from $300 million to $350 million, but have limited capacity remaining. So if you haven't already committed, you definitely need to move quickly there. Additionally, investors in PEO 2 have already received their first distribution of a 20% cash on cash yield. Those that come in after this will still participate in that distribution pro rata as well. At the very least, you need to go to our website, take a look at the back page for the fund where you'll find the executive summary, the presentation, and a link to the recording. As a reminder, you can always access ShareFile for more information, and there's a clickable link now embedded in your statement to make it that much easier to access. Thank you, and we look forward to providing you with updates in quarters to come.